Hey there everyone, my name's Nick and I've been trying to make a Kingdom Hearts walkthrough for some time but wasn't quite sure how I wanted to do it, so I decided on a full-length Proud Mode walkthrough specifically for people who haven't tried it before. Of course this will absolutely work for any difficulty as I'll be 100%ing the game, and it'll be sectioned by world with the timestamps in the description. Let's see if I can condense 24 hours of game time into a 1 or 2 hour video. Join me, won't you? Only 3 things of note here. I picked the shield route because Sora gets guard, second chance, leaf bracer, and lucky strike the earliest, and then I sacrifice the sword because you only lose 1 strength. And on any route at level 2, you get automatic strength increase. Ultimately, it's your choice what route you want to take, but this is the one I recommend. The second thing is the questions. I always choose the fast route, which is the top 3 answers, because the majority of the game is prior to level 50, which is when fast leveling slows down. We'll have EXP accessories, and enemies will drop more EXP by this point too. I do recommend the fast route for people new to Proud Mode because the sooner you're stronger, the better. The last thing is fighting Darkseid. I do it a specific way to level up faster. First, wait for him to punch the ground, and then climb his arm and do about 5 combos to his head. Defeat the shadows that spawned. Stand on the rows and lock onto Darkseid's head. Hit the energy blast back, and then combo the hand on your left until you've won. Here's where all the items are. I use Selphie to grind up to level 5, and all I do is deflect her pouncing jump rope attack and step back, and if timed right, she'll do that attack infinitely and Sora gets 2 XP every 7-ish seconds. I'll briefly explain how to beat Wakka and Tidus. Wakka, you can just hit the ball back at him, combo, and then repeat. Tidus, you have to wait for him to attack, get behind him and combo, and if you're fast enough, you can keep him stun locked, but it's really difficult. For the 3v1, which you can only unlock by fighting the 3 aforementioned characters, you want to stun Wakka off the bat by hitting his ball at him, then focus on defeating Selphie by using 2-hit combos and jumping a lot. Wakka will clumsily throw his ball twice and then become unstunned, so hit another of his blitz balls back at him to restun him, then refocus Selphie, repeat this until Selphie is down. Then stun Wakka as needed and focus Tidus by defeating him the same way I mentioned before. Repeatedly stun Wakka until he's the only one left and then beat him the normal way mentioned prior to. For Riku, make sure you count your hits. 4 hits and he'll do his kick attack, which does the most damage. Make sure your 4th hit isn't your finisher and stay away from the edges. If you have to stand around for a bit, do it. It's better than slipping off the island and losing. Here are the items on day 2. The fastest route to race Riku is to keep pace with him along the boardwalk, then climb the ladder, take the zipline, hop across these 4 trees, touch the star, jump across the trees back to the boardwalk, and you'll win. Talk to Kairi after the race, and here's the last of the items. You can fight the other islanders again if you'd like, but we're going to move on. Go to the island, then to the secret place. The Darkseid fight will start with energy blast that you can deflect back at its head. Then, do 1 combo on one of the hands, then stand to the far left. Jump up when it punches, then combo the head about 5 times, then defeat the shadows, then wait for it to slam its arm through the ground, then combo its head until it's defeated. I immediately run to the second district after Sora is done marveling at the new world. Then I'll run back to the first to defeat the immediate 5 Heartless, jump onto the accessory shop roof, get this chest for the first postcard, go into the shop, grab the chest after the cutscene. It's a good idea to save before the Leon fight because you'll get XP and an elixir for beating him. This is how you defeat Leon. Stay away from him unless he jumps towards you, combo him in the air and then run away. Or, if he shoots a fireball, jump and hit it back, and then combo him from behind to knock him away. Repeat these steps until he's defeated. After fighting Leon, we're going to talk to Yuffie. Hit this clock 10 times for secret chest, grab the chest on the table, then talk to Leon, then defeat the 4 and then 2 soldiers, grab this chest, move this barrel, jump up to the second chest, fight your way to the red room for another chest, then fight until you're level 8. Go to the first district, grab the second postcard from the safe, grab the 3rd postcard from the fan at the item shop, then talk to Aero for a mega potion. Then go to the second district, fight this group on the right, grab this chest with the 4th postcard on the awning, head to the 3rd district and fight guard armor. For the soldier section, lock onto the soldier and press triangle to cause Donald to cast fire on the soldiers. It's a 1-hit kill. Then when guard armor spawns, you can step back and deflect its arm spin by attacking from the ground, something which I need to practice. Break guard armor's arms and be sure to jump anytime the body tries to slam on top of you. You can make Donald and Goofy help with the arms or attack the feet by locking onto whichever you want, and then spamming triangle until their health bars glow blue. After defeating the arms, attack the feet. It's fairly straightforward and you'll likely deflect their stomp by virtue of attacking. If not, run behind Goofy as he'll either deflect the stomp or get hit. Either way, the stomping stops. After defeating the feet, wait until the body stops floating, it's invincible, then attack relentlessly. You won't get hit by its spin attack if you're also attacking it at the right time. Keep attacking until you win. After guard armor, here's what our setup will be. Remove Donald and Goofy's items, give Sora all potions, equip Brave Warrior to Sora, equip Slapshot, Berserk, and Dodge Roll to Sora, equip Rocket to Goofy, and then this is how we'll customize Donald and Goofy for now. Grab the blue Trinity in front of the world exit, then leave. Delete the ship you have, attach a cockpit, an engine, and a gun, fly to Wonderland. This guide includes Gummi Blueprints and missions, so for now these are the blueprints you can collect on this route. Ahriman and Sylph. After landing in Wonderland, go to the Bazaar Room and push this bed, then talk to the doorknob, drink the liquid to shrink, and then go to the Queen's Castle. Then go to the Lotus Forest, fight the enemies, give a potion to the immediate left yellow flower to grow big, jump on the stump, and then eat the acorn to shrink. Okay, so you only need one evidence to progress, but here's where all the evidence is, as well as a few of the other items along the way. Back in the Queen's Castle, whichever box falls the fastest, no matter how many you got, is the culprit. However, grabbing all 4 boxes gives you the chance to select the right one. For the tower, lock onto the nearest wheel and attack until all 3 wheels break. You can attack the Queen to stun the red cards, and you'll need to attack the tower one more time after breaking the wheels to be able to lock onto it again. Hit it until it breaks. After the fight, go to the Lotus Forest and then immediately back to the Queen's Castle. Go in and out until white mushrooms spawn. Cast fire once each time they shiver, 3 times for fire arts, and cast a blizzard once each time they fan themselves, 3 times for blizzard arts. Once they disappear or you have the arts, give a potion to the flower that makes you big, and push in the rock to the pond. Then shrink and jump onto the lily pads and into the alcove you now have access to. Defeat the red nocturnes inside and wait for the other enemies to despawn, then get the blue Trinity, go through the door into the Queen's Castle, and grab the chest with puppies 13, 14, and 15. Next, go through the door to where box 4 was, jump onto the chimney and run down into it. Defeat the enemies, then hit the string holding the shelf up to knock down the bear. Then light the left torch for a chest with defense up in it. Make sure you use it on Sora immediately, as to not forget like I always do, and be sure to restock his items. Go through the hole in the left wall and then to the Tea Party Garden. Examine the sign twice, and here's a picture to show what each chair will yield. Then we'll go to the Bazaar Room ceiling, stay off the floor tiles, light the first lamp, then the second, jump here, dodge roll at the bottom, and spam triangle to unlock the latch, then jump in. If you mess up, it's fine, just defeat the enemies that spawn. When you're back in Queen's Castle, you can get the chest on the hedge, though it really isn't important right now. Go to the regular Bazaar Room, examine the flower, grow big, examine the book, move the bear for a return trip, go to the rabbit hole, fight for a mega potion, return to the table, grow small, boss fight. Trickmaster is rather straightforward. Use the chairs or tables to elevate yourself high enough to attack it, and then when Trickmaster collapses, you can stand behind it and cast fire. Be wary not to accidentally shoot its batons, as that can prematurely light them. You can also use this shelf where the book was to reach Trickmaster. After Trickmaster decides to light their batons, you can spam your fire and then combo Trickmaster after they do their big fire attack. Otherwise, stand at their feet. If Trickmaster is using the fireball barrage, all the attacks will miss you. If Trickmaster swipes down at you, go to the left and then jump up and attack Trickmaster when they swipe. Cast fireballs when Trickmaster relights batons, repeat until defeated. You'll get a trophy for completing Wonderland now, and you'll be able to get the blueprints Self and Cindy from the Wonderland route, and Shiva and Cindy from the Olympus route. After you fight a deep jungle, first we'll beat Sabor. It's pretty easy if you wait for the opening after the 2-paw swipe, combo, and then back off. Repeat this until Sabor is defeated. You can also cast fire repeatedly when far away, but be cautious of Sabor's pounce. Don't change anything about Tarzan, just hop off the net, grab this chest, and then jump down to the tunnel. Grab this other chest, and then touch the save point. We'll need it for later. Jump into the tunnel and quit out of the slide minigame. Cast fire on the furnace first. Here's where the slides and notes are. Now go to the experiment table and examine it. Cast Blizzard on it if you have it. Go to the pot experiment and examine it. Since we've already lit it, you won't have to do anything. Go into the tent. Keep Donald and Goofy in your party, grab the chest, talk to Jane, watch the slides. I recommend defeating Sabor again using the same tactics if you want the XP. Get the blue Trinity with puppies 34, 35, and 36. Go to the Hippos Lagoon and to this island on the left. Grab this chest and then jump and keyblade swing to the chest by a pole that contains puppies 25, 26, 27, then climb off the pole. After the cutscene, go to the climbing trees and grab this blue Trinity and the chest. Then go to the treehouse, then after the cutscene, jump into the tunnel, quit out, fight Sabor again if you want, and then go into the camp tent. Exit the tent after the cutscene, then don't skip the cutscene where Sora says Heartless. Spam Blizzard or Thunder if you went to the Coliseum first, until they're all defeated. After receiving the gummy, go into the tent and leave the world. Land back in the tunnel, and now we'll change out Goofy for Tarzan. Here's his setup, and be sure to take his items. Then, fight the Heartless in the climbing trees, then the treehouse, then jump off, around here-ish to land in the cliff. Defeat these Heartless and get the 2 chests on this ledge. Then defeat the Heartless in the bamboo thicket without using magic in case white mushrooms show up in the camp and you still need to get your fire, blizzard, or thunder arts. If white mushrooms don't spawn, just run into the camp tent and then head back out into the bamboo thicket for the Sabor boss fight. During the fight, run backwards to the camp entrance. Don't leave, but stand in the little area with the rock walls. Wait for Zabor to come to you and then attack her into the corner. This prevents Zabor from leaping into the bamboo, and you'll be close enough to stunlock her as well. Hit until defeated. After the fight, go to the camp tent, then after the cutscene, climb this vine in Hippo's Lagoon that leads to Vines 1. Swing across the vines to this chest and keep swinging to Vines 2. Get the chest in Vines 2 that contains Dalmatians 28, 29, and 30, then swing over to the tree and climb this next vine to Climbing Trees, where the fruit battle takes place. You can just focus the fruit the entire time, however if you want, you can have Tarzan and Donald attack enemies by locking onto them and pressing triangle. After the fruit is destroyed, you can go to the tunnel to save if you want, if not, just head to the treehouse and replenish items if needed, then jump off the left side down to the cliff. I like to defeat all the Power Wilds Heartless before attacking Clayton for extra XP, then I attack Clayton by doing repeated 2-hit combos. We do the 2-hit combos because the third knocks him away and gives him an opportunity to shoot us or heal, which we don't want. After a few hits, Clayton will summon Stealth Sneak, and after the cutscene you'll immediately want to jump or dodge roll out of the way from Clayton's Shotgun Blast. I'm bad at this, but the damage is negligible if you do get hit. Now you're going to repeatedly 2-hit combo the Stealth Sneak as well. This will prevent Clayton from being knocked off until the Stealth Sneak is very low in health, allowing you to easily defeat the Stealth Sneak for extra XP. Use potions as needed. After Clayton is eventually knocked off, have Donald and Tarzan focus him by locking onto him and pressing triangle until you finish off Stealth Sneak. Stand about this distance away if Stealth Sneak does their laser eye attack. Don't bother to attack as they're unkillable during this. Once Stealth Sneak is defeated, go 2-hit combo Clayton until he's also defeated. After the boss fight, go into the Waterfall Cavern, and instead of explaining it, I'll just show you how to get up to the keyhole. After sealing the keyhole, you'll be forced to leave, and then you'll get a trophy for completing Deep Jungle. Now, you should go back to Deep Jungle and land in the tunnel. Equip Jungle King and White Claw paired with Brave Warrior to Sora. You can also equip any abilities you get up to this point, or equip accessories to Donald and Goofy. Now you have the option to complete the 5-tunnel slider minigame. The last 2 areas have a defense up and power up as rewards, so I'll be doing that now. Make sure you grab all 10 fruit on each slide every time you go through to get the items. So on the second slide you'll need all 20, and on the third you'll need all 30, and so on. After you've collected the items per slide, pause and press restart, and it'll put you back in the tunnel so you won't have to run all the way back here from wherever the slide happens to spit you out at. Here's a slightly sped up version of where the items are and which ways to go to complete the minigame. So this is assuming you came from Traverse Town for the rebels in the group. It's actually not all that incredibly difficult, just time consuming as this world is meant to be completed after Wonderland, but oh well. If you came from Deep Jungle, it'll be even easier. Here are the items you can currently grab. Once inside the foyer, push the pedal immediately until Sora says it's too heavy, then talk to Phil twice. This is how I do the barrel minigames. After the barrel minigame, leave the foyer and then run back in after the cutscene. Talk to Phil and start the prelims. So for the first 4 rounds, start off by casting Thunder because it's your best area of effect attack, and then defeat the enemies by attacking them and jumping a lot. Focus fire enemies as their fire spell will home in on you. And for the 5th round, use the fire off the bat to stun as many blue Rhapsodies as possible. Remember to keep jumping and casting fire whenever you can as a stun tactic, while you melee attack the other enemies. It's okay to use potions as needed. For the 6th round, save the large body for last as you defeat the others via spells or keyblade attacks. Make sure you focus on one at a time. Once it's just the large body left, spam fire with whatever magic you have, and then attack until it glows purple. Then get behind one of your friends slash their corpses, as they will tank the belly hit for you. Just jump behind the large body and combo it after it attacks, and then repeat until defeated. Surprisingly, Cloud is actually the easiest enemy to beat here, because all you need to do is let him knock out Donald and Goofy, and then do this loop. It takes a while, but if done properly, it prevents Cloud from attacking you at all. After the Cloud fight, replenish Sora's items and then run back in to defeat Cerberus. Cerberus is pretty easy. You can start by knocking the fireballs back at it, then going to either the left or the right head and using 2 hits or full combos. Run to the back left leg when Cerberus slams its paws on the ground. Climb up from there and onto his back when he begins to vomit darkness into the ground. Stay up there until the darkness is gone, and then start attacking from the left or right head again. Repeat until defeated. You can collect the Shiva and Armon blueprint on this route. Get over 80 total points to complete the first Traverse Town mission. It's really easy, and you'll likely do it by complete accident. Land in the first district, and then go to the cafe and cast Blizzard on the candles. Grab the chest with the defense up and use it on Sora right away. Grab the blue Trinity in front of the cafe and the chest with our 5th postcard. Then go to the second district, into the hotel, through the red room, out the alleyway, and then use the red Trinity to break down the bars. Grab the chest by the stairs for puppies 10, 11, and 12. Then talk to Leon twice. Leave and make your way back to the accessory shop and talk to Sid. Head to the third district, cast fire on the door with the fire sigil, then hop across the moving rocks to Merlin's house. After the cutscene, grab the blue Trinity by the save point, then talk to Merlin. After all that, go into the 100-acre wood. Go to the field here on the right. After the cutscenes, grab the chest in the log, then go to Pooh's house, hit this pipe, then go inside and grab the item that fell out, and open his cupboard for another item, then leave and head back to the third district. After the Riku cutscene, grab the blue Trinity from behind the fountain, cast Thunder on the exposed wire, and then unlock the big doors that lead to the first district. Go to the vacant house and talk to Sid. When all the cutscenes are done, head back to the first district and sell pretty stones at the item shop, and whatever else you can until you have 1,250 money. Then talk to Sid. Buy a haste gummy and a fire gummy, talk to him again, and then attach your new items in the gummy ship. But I also like to attach a radar because I had it lying around. Now go to the Gizmo shop and step on the 3 buttons. If you get into combat, run out of the shop via the back door, then come back in and stay by the clock. Once you examine it, do so for our 6th and 7th postcard. Now run back out and climb the ladder. Defeat the Heartless on the Gizmo shop roof, use the red Trinity, and then ring the bell 3 times. After the cutscene, head to this roof and grab the chest on the left here. Then go into the third district via the hole in the roof. Cast Thunder or Blizzard repeatedly until the air soldiers are defeated, then examine this corner for postcard number 8. Head back to the second district, and you can either drop down to here to jump over to this ledge, and then to the left for your chest, or you can drop from the top of the Gizmo shop to grab the chest. Either way, after grabbing the chest, go to the keyhole. When guard armor switches to opposite armor, you want to defeat the feet hands first, and then the hand feet. I know it's confusing, but bear with me. When opposite armor splits apart, you can deflect or guard its spinning arms or spinning head attack. This boss isn't overly complex. Destroy its limbs like before, and keep your magic safe to use Cure if needed. After sealing the keyhole, we're going to set Aero in our shortcut menu, and then turn in the other postcards we got. Then leave. Warp to Wonderland and set off for the blue portal from there. You can collect Bomb, Stingray, Death Guys, Leviathan, Adamant, Sylph, and Carbuncle blueprints. Make your way to the alley, and after the Jasmine cutscene, fight the bandits, then climb to the upper ledge and fight the shadows. Grab the chest and release the keyhole. Go to Aladdin's house and free carpet. Release this keyhole if you want. Head down to the plaza, across the wooden awnings, and then over to this blue chest. Then drop down to grab this chest, then head to the desert. At the start of this fight, immediately summon Simba. Run off to the side of it and use 2 max roar charges, which will clear the enemies. If you happen to get hit, cast Aero and then fight the enemies like normal. Keep Aladdin out of the party for now. Platform your way to the alley, then across the wood awnings to Main Street, then go to Aladdin's house. This next section is going to be a fast and easy level grind with the black fungus mushrooms. Save after the cutscene, grab the chest in front of the bazaar, and then go in. Now you're going to walk in and out as many times as it takes, like up to 4 though, to try and force spawn the black fungus Heartless. You'll know you've succeeded because your command menu will be red when you enter the room. If you've tried 4 times and no fungus have spawned, soft reset by pressing L1, L2, R1, R2, start and select all at the same time, and repeat running in and out of the room until the mushrooms spawn. Once the mushrooms do spawn, defeat them by using air combos and staying away from their poison clouds. The black fungus will turn invincible if they successfully poison you, Donald, or Goofy, so don't let them if you want this to go quickly. However, you likely will, so it's not a big deal if you do. Keep alive with Cure. After you defeat them the first time, grab the blue Trinity at the bottom of the room, grab this chest, and then release this keyhole. Head back to Aladdin's house and swap Goofy for Aladdin, take Aladdin's items, and then remove his treasure magnet ability for critical plus, and then there's no need to customize them any further. Save, and then repeat the level grind. Continue killing black fungus and returning to Aladdin's house and saving until Sora is level 23, which will take like 8 minutes to level up from 18 to 23. Like, that's really fast. Also, if you're on the shield route, you'll have gotten scan along the way here, so be sure to equip it before moving on. After you reach level 23, go out the left pole of Aladdin's house and jump over to the entrance to the palace gates. Dodge roll left and you'll start the pot centipede fight. You're now pretty over-leveled for this fight, so just keep Aero on and combo pot centipede's head until it's almost defeated. Before defeating it, you want to be as close to the desert exit as possible, so either defeat the pot centipede in Main Street and dodge roll as fast as you can over to the plaza, or just beat it in the plaza. Then immediately head to the desert and start the Cave of Wonders fight. This one is a little bit trickier, but what you're going to do is go on the left side of its head and try to jump up. If you make it, great. Stand on its nose and use 1 or 2 hit combos to attack its left eye. If you don't climb up, wait for it to bury its nose, then jump on and do the same tactic I said prior. You don't want to defeat the left eye, so somewhere around here, switch to the right eye and keep repeating the tactic. If you fall off, wait off to the side and keep yourself healed. You can summon Simba to help remove the Heartless if you like, but only do that if you're desperate. When the cave starts moving its head rapidly from side to side, don't bother swinging at any of the eyes, just wait it out or cast Blizzard to get some extra damage in. Eventually defeat the right eye, then finish off the left eye. After you beat the Cave of Wonders' head, we're going to go into the mouth and immediately equip Lucky Strike if you got it. Then run to the Relic Chamber elevator and let it take you down. Grab this chest, then use Aladdin to call this statue. Go to the Dark Chamber, grab the chest, go up the waterfall, call the statue, grab the next 2 chests, and then leap to this 3rd one. Go to the save and switch out Aladdin for Goofy, then swim up the waterfall next to the save point. Head down this waterfall to call the statue. This is for later. Then swim up and get the Blue Trinity by the stairs and its chest. Go to the opening on your forward left and then break this pillar. Then swim back to the Silent Chamber and go up the stairs. Go into the bottomless hall, leap over to grab this chest, then leap back and then defeat the enemies on the higher ledge for the chest, then go to the treasure room. Climb onto the fireplace and immediately use the defense up from the chest, and go along the platforms and grab the next 2 chests. Then you can either leap over to this gold pile to get the chest, or switch Aladdin into the group and have him use Call to blast you up there. However you do it, get the Red Trinity next to the Sphinx statue, and then head into the boss fight with Aladdin and Goofy. You'll see on screen that I don't actually do that, and you don't want Donald because Goofy has a much higher jump and will hit Jafar more often, whereas magic isn't that damaging to human Jafar, so Donald really isn't useful here. Honestly, I don't feel like I need to explain Jafar or Genie Jafar, since they're both stupid easy. You can cast Blizzard on regular Jafar to get him to pull up his anti-magic shield, which will give you more time to damage him, and on Genie Jafar, you can cast Blizzard on him to do damage. After you've committed the violence against them, you don't really need to worry about the carpet minigame. You can just kill yourself there, it'll go by faster, or you can walk away, get a drink, who cares. After you get 3 wishes from Aladdin, be sure to set up your items, abilities, and accessories, and the only thing worth mentioning is to keep White Fang and Brave Warrior on Sora. You'll get a trophy for beating Agrabah, and for Monstro, we're going to fly out on the upward route. The blueprints you get along this route are Sylph, Carbuncle, Adamant, Bomb, and Sandy. Go to the boat. Go into Chamber 1. Go straight to Chamber 3, defeat the enemies, get the chest, go back to Chamber 1. Jump up to go to Chamber 2, defeat the enemies, get the chest, go to Chamber 3. Defeat the enemies, use a barrel to climb up to this gland and get a chest. Go back to the other barrels and throw one down, and use it to get to the other side, where you'll use its barrels to jump up to this gland to get this chest, then drop back down and get the chest below the gland. You may have to defeat some enemies first if you're unlucky, otherwise just drop down and move the barrel back to get to the other side and then go to Chamber 2. Defeat the enemies. Throw a barrel into this lower area in case you fall. Then jump to the closest gland, then over to the one with 2 barrels and a chest. Grab the chest and go back up and then go to Chamber 5. Continue through to Chamber 6. Defeat the enemies, then go to the bottom of the stairs for a chest. Down by that chest, go to the chamber door next to it, into Chamber 5, defeat the enemies. Grab the 2 chests and the Blue Trinity, head back to Chamber 6. Defeat any remaining enemies in Chamber 6, then use the barrel to climb up to this gland. Get the chest, and then if you position yourself just right, you can jump over to this gland for another chest, then you can jump over from there to this other area with Heartless and a chest. Defeat them to get this chest, or you can just come back when you have high jump, drop back down at the top of the stairs, go to Chamber 5. Defeat the enemies without falling off, then you can head to Chamber 4. Turn around and come back to replenish any barrels you might have destroyed, then use the barrel to jump onto this elevated gland for a chest, jump across to the next gland to the elevated platform with a chest on a barrel. Cast fire on the barrel to break it, then defeat the Heartless that spawned, grab the chest, and carefully hop back across to get back to Chamber 4. Now it's Parasite Cage time. So this fight is really simple, and what you're going to do is wait until Parasite Cage does its 2 big-handed attack, then combo its like stomach teeth. Continued stomach teeth hitting will sort of cause Parasite Cage to briefly recoil, to where you can keep attacking without worry of being hit. Repeat this as best you can and heal as needed. After defeating Parasite Cage, grab the High Jump chest, equip it via shared abilities, then grab the Green Trinity and the subsequent chest on top of Geppetto's ship. Get the other chest and the Blue Trinity in the area. After that, leave the world, fly to Halloween Town. You may also get the Typhoon or Golem blueprints along the way, but it's okay if not. After landing in Halloween Town, run here, jump up, grab this chest for a power-up, use it on Sora, leave, warp to Monstro, then go into Monstro's throat. Defeat whatever enemies spawn, and grab the Blue Trinity, then jump up the throat glands to Parasite Cage Round 2, Electric Boogaloo. Honestly, this fight is exactly the same as last time. Attack his stomach teeth, and he'll struggle to do any real attacks on you. If you see him slam his hands down, dodge roll backwards. If you see it uses its poison breath, just dodge roll behind it, and I don't actually have any footage of this because hitting it in the stomach teeth actually prevented it from even using it. Also, if you get Leaf Bracer along the way, or at this fight, be sure to equip it ASAP. You'll get a trophy for completing Monstro, and then you're going to be spit back to Agrabah. Land in the Dark Chamber, swim to the Silent Chamber, and then jump up to the area we opened when we were here a bit ago. Then use Call on the statue, then drop down and grab the secret chest. Leave the world. I did the Gummi ship by replacing your old Haste Gummi with a new Haste 2 Gummi you just got, and also a Flare Gummi we got in Monstro. Then fly to Atlantica. You can get Adamant, Sylph, Carbuncle, Lamia, and Death Guy's blueprints on this route. Here's the spots where Flounder goes to. After the Heartless fight, hit the clam. Put in Ariel and Goofy, take Ariel's items and unequip Spiral Wave, and customize her like this. Follow the wall Tritons to Triton's Throne. If the white mushrooms show up here, attack one to despawn them so you can get this item in the clam. From the Undersea Gorge, swim to the Undersea Garden for another item in the clam, then go to Triton's Throne. After the cutscene, swim to Ariel's grotto. Grab the chest at the bottom, middle, and top of her grotto, then leave. Defeat the enemies just outside the grotto, then wait by the door for the dolphin. Ride the dolphin to the entrance of Undersea Cave, then let go. Swim to the calm depths and take this big geyser up. Swim here and then down and wait for the dolphin. No enemies should spawn, and if they do, swim into the big hole in this wall and then back out to despawn them. Then grab onto the dolphin as it swims by, it'll take you to the sunken ship entrance. Once there, grab these 2 chests just below the entrance. Enter the ship itself and grab the chest to the right of the broken wall and the item in the clam below deck. Grab the crystal trident, then swim outside the ship. Swim to this opening along the sea floor and into a room with a geyser. Hit the geyser and ride it up. Open the big chest you just moved, then go into Ariel's grotto and place the crystal trident. Go back to Triton's throne to progress the story. Then, we go back to the hole by Ariel's grotto, which leads to the sunken ship where we fight the shark. I screw around and try to get it to charge into things, but that strat is a big waste of time, so just keep Aero up and bonk it on the noggin. Examine the big rock and swim through the cavern nook. Grab the item in the left clam and then leave the world. Warp to Halloween Town. So this is a little weird, but we're actually going to beat Halloween Town first. We are going to come back to Atlantica, but I like being a higher level before beating it. Go to Jack's house behind the automatic gate and grab the chest by his steps and ring his doorbell 3 times. Then head to the lab. Keep Jack out of the party, then grab the torn page off the shelf. Head through the square. For those not super used to Halloween Town, be aware the way to the graveyard is slightly hidden behind this wall. Defeat the enemies in the graveyard and then return to the lab. After the cutscene, replace Sora's items with ethers. Then head back to the graveyard and walk in and out until white mushrooms spawn. Cast Aero once each time a white mushroom spins, 3 times for Aero arts. You can also get Fire, Blizzard, or Thunder arts here if you missed them before. After the mushrooms disappear or you have the arts, go through the coffin and talk to the mayor. Ghosts will come out of these tombstones, and it's random every time, so be sure you remember the specific order. Grab the chest from the pumpkin, then head through the cat door. Run over to this lantern and cast fire. Jump onto it and ride it over to the graveyard. Now we'll never have to go back through the coffin again. After the cutscenes in the lab, go back to the graveyard for the 3rd and thankfully final time. Cast fire on the lantern and ride it up to the moonlit or curly hill, I forget what it's called in this game. If normal enemies spawn, you'll just have to beat the one group on your right, then examine the stone on the hill. If black fungus spawn, you'll have to either kill them or corral them into a corner before moving on. Go to the bridge, and if rare truffles spawn, hang tight. We'll get back to you lucky ducks in a moment. If they don't spawn, run straight through to Oogie's Manor, then turn around and go back to the bridge. Run in and out of this room until they do spawn. Once rare truffles spawn, here's what you're going to do. Run up to the truffle in the water that's farthest left. When it's in a clear, unobstructed center of the stream spot, hit it up, and then jump and hit it once. You're going to repeatedly jump and hit it 1 time while slowly maneuvering the rare truffle towards the golden skull bars. You want to get the rare truffle into this corner, and then without moving, repeat the jump and hit tactic. The rare truffle will actually be completely stuck here and unable to move as long as you keep the rhythm going. It won't be able to break free, and you'll be able to get 100 hits easy. Which leveled me up 4 times for the first rare truffle. You also receive Shiitake and Matsutake rank from 50 and 100 hits respectively. They don't sell for that much, but it makes me feel good to have them, you know? You can do this with all 4 rare truffles if you like, however I only did it with 2 because once you're about level 33, you're good to go. I was level 35 by the time I beat the 2nd truffle. If you do happen to mess up, try to gently push without hitting some of the other rare truffles towards this corner, and then trying again, though they may just hop towards you of their own volition. If you can't get 100 hits on any of the 4 and they all despawn, it's okay. What you'll do is take the hole farthest left back to the guillotine gate. You can also save by the world entrance if you want to use the soft reset strat. Then run through the graveyard, take the lantern over to the hill and back to the bridge. Then run in and out of Oogie's Manor and the bridge as needed until they spawn again. When they spawn, you'll have 4 more chances to get 100 hits. After all that, once you're anywhere 33 and higher, grab the chests on the bridge. You may also unlock a 3rd accessory slot if you're on the shield route, so be sure to put Ray of Light in that slot for some bonus health and magic. Now, go into Oogie's Manor. Drop down from the bridge and defeat the enemies. Grab the red Trinity here and its chest. Then go down the waterway to the right and it will put you back up on the bridge. Then go back into Oogie's Manor and work your way up. I only get these 2 chests prior to the Lock, Shock, and Barrel fight. I also got Treasure Hunter here, so if you've been following along, you likely will too. At the Lock, Shock, and Barrel fight, defeat them in that order. Lock the Devil, Shock the Witch, and Barrel the Skeleton for the most XP. You can use summons or the Blizzard strat to beat them, but I find it easier to just pummel them while healing is necessary. After defeating them, hit the switch. It's also a good idea to save here, and then switch out Goofy for Jack. Take Jack's items and customize Jack so he does melee and special attacks constantly. Then go face Oogie. So essentially, what you'll do for Oogie is defeat the Gargoyle Heartless first, and then, when the buttons light up, step on any one Oogie is in, but your teammates aren't. Combo Oogie as much as you can. You can summon Genie to get off some extra damage while you're in the lower section. Genie will also help you defeat more Heartless if they spawn. Be sure to hit the dark red dice when Oogie throws them. Repeat the first step a couple times. You can also jump and cast Fire/Thunder at Oogie whenever you're in the lower area for some extra damage. Now for Giant Oogie, what I do is run back to the bridge and then back into Oogie's Manor, which will give you a place to continue from on the off chance you get a game over. Then I do as much damage as I can to the lowest 4 dark orbs without destroying them. Then at the 5th one, I destroy it and I work my way up, destroying each one. Then I go in reverse and destroy the 4 I almost broke on my way up, and then boom, done. Once back in the lab, equip Pumpkinhead. If you get second chance along the way, equip it too, then leave. You get a trophy for completing Halloween Town. Now warp to Atlantica, and when you're back, land in Cavern Nook. It's irrelevant who you keep in the party, though I find Aero to be much more giving than Donald is. Switch all your items to Ethers, and one of your shortcuts to Fire. Fun fact, Ursula's Cauldron glows different colors to show you what attack is coming, not what spell you need to cast. So you can just spam Fire on the Cauldron until Ursula is knocked unconscious. The only thing worth noting here is that after she becomes conscious again, lock onto her and hold square and swim around the bottom of the Cauldron while she does her spin attack so you stay safe. Otherwise the fight is mostly the same and we're way over level for it, so it shouldn't be a problem. After defeating Ursula, leave her grotto, then come back in. Equip Mermaid Kick, and then cast Fire on this sea urchin. Then grab the chest that falls. Go back to the sunken ship, and go in and out of the below deck until white mushrooms spawn. We're going to grab stop arts while we're here. Cast stop once whenever a mushroom lifts its foot up and freezes, 3 times for the arts. Then after getting stop arts, swim out and go to the calm depths. Swim across the fast waters to the triple question mark hole, and then get ready for the giant Ursula fight. Giant Ursula, now that we're way higher level, is very easy. Swim behind her head and combo her. This is pretty much how you're going to do the whole fight. If you keep Aero up, her electric strikes won't even really hurt you, even when she says that this won't be pretty. If you didn't do the rare truffle level grind, what you'll need to do is only swim in to attack Ursula when she uses her big suck. That's suck with 2 C's, because only then will the lightning strike stop and give you a chance to combo her. It takes a long time and a lot of patience, but it is doable. After defeating Big Ursula, touch Triton's Throne save point, and on our way to seal the keyhole, we're going to grab all the clam items since there's no Heartless. Here's where all the clams and the keyhole are. Then leave the world via Tranquil Grotto. You'll get a trophy, and then we'll head to Neverland. You can get Lamia and Death Guy's blueprints on this route. Don't put Peter Pan in the party, however, do take his items and remove his time out ability and customize him like this. Go through the 3 ship rooms. The first thing of note is grabbing this chest and then jumping into the right hole in the ceiling. Use a green Trinity and then climb the ladder to fight Anti-Sora. The way you're going to fight Anti-Sora is combo him by hitting him twice, pausing, and then doing a full 3-hit combo. This will cause him to disappear or retaliate. That'll be how you hit him from here on out. Next, if he splits into 3 copies, cast Blizzard to remove the extras, even if you know which one is the original. During the phase where he's in the ground and invisible, keep moving. Or you can stand on Hook's bed as close to the window as possible to stay safe. Repeat these steps until Anti-Sora is defeated. Grab the chest on Hook's bed and then drop down here. Grab this chest, then switch Ray of Light for Raven's Claw on Sora, go around and back up to Hook's cabin and out the ship deck. Switch Goofy for Peter Pan and then defeat all the Heartless. When the Hook fight starts, run into this room and then back out. This will make it so you don't have to refight the Heartless if you die to Hook. The Hook fight is pretty easy. All you'll have to do is float slightly above the ground and combo him. Heal is necessary. Also, you can either defeat the Battleship Heartless so that Hook will call more, giving you an opportunity to land a few more hits, or just destroy their side cannon so they can't heal Hook. After defeating Hook, grab the chest on Elizabeth Tower. That's right, Big Ben is actually a bell inside the tower. Then hit the clock face, seal the keyhole and leave. You'll get a trophy for completing Neverland. Now immediately go back and land in the clock tower. Depending on your time, you may be seconds to minutes away from losing out on an hourly item. Look around the clock tower and grab whatever item it may be. For me, it was hour 4 item, a power-up. So, weird thing, during every hour you can come back here and grab a new item. Here's a quick list of all of them and their hours. Be sure to keep track of your time. You can only grab each item once. However, if you miss an hour, you can only grab it again 12 hours later, or you have to load a previous save. The only really important hours to not miss are 1, 2, 4, 8, 9, and 10, as Orichalcums cost 5,000 money if you miss any, and getting extra power/defense ups is always good. Don't forget to equip Glide in your shared abilities. As a side note, I recommend to do other things during your downtime between each hourly item, and do not progress past the second Riku fight in Hollow Bastion until you're ready, because once you beat him, the secret boss Phantom will take over the clock tower and lock out the items until you defeat it. Now we're going to go back to Agrabah, land in the Dark Chamber, save, and then go here, then here, push this block, grab this chest, and then glide over to the treasure room. Walk in and out until white mushrooms spawn, then cast Gravity once. When a white mushroom floats, 3 times to get Gravity Arts. I also never mentioned it, cast Thunder once when a bulb appears above their head, 3 times to get Thunder Arts. With that, you should have all the arts: Fire, Blizzard, Thunder, Cure, Gravity, Aero, and Stop. Now, head back to Traverse Town, land in the accessory shop, and use the green Trinity to open the synthesis shop. Talk to these 2 Moogles, and then open the chests in here, and grab our 9th postcard from the wall. Then go out the back door and go to Geppetto's house. Talk to Geppetto to see if he gives you a ship. No matter what happens, grab the chest on the ground and our 10th postcard in the corner. You can also walk in and out of Geppetto's house 30 times, then talk to Pinocchio to get the Chocobo blueprint. It's monotonous and stupid, but if you want the trophy for all the blueprints, you gotta do it. After you get it, or don't, honestly, who could blame you, go turn in the remaining postcards, the last of which is a defense up. Use the defense up on Sora, and then talk to Sid to progress the story. After that, I went to the item shop and bought Mage's Staff for Donald. This is optional, though. I also sold any extra accessories, arts, ranks, or any pretty stones I had for extra cash, and bought more of their weapons for the eventual shield and staff master trophies. After that, get this red Trinity and this puppy chest, then go visit the Dalmatians. You'll get the last turn page. Now head to the Mystical House. Grab this chest with Clyde and then go to the Magician's Study. Talk to Merlin to get Spellbinder since you now have all the spells, then talk to him again to get Dream Shield for Goofy if you have all the arts. Now go to 100 Acre Wood. Equip Pumpkinhead for this world as it's our longest Keyblade and will be the most useful. I'm going to briefly explain the minigames. You only need 100 points to get a great score on the Honey Tree, and you get 10 points per B group you hit. Here's where you'll jump, and once you hit 100 points, you can grab a snack and leave Pooh to die. For the Tigger minigame, I found a glitch. Essentially, if you jump under his bounce and block him, you'll multiply the number of blocks scored. It's really weird. However, it skyrockets your points as you only need 150 to get a great score, and with my really high block number, I got 247. If you'd rather just use the rush commands, that's fine. You only need to block him 10 times if you save all 15 carats. For the swing, first we're going to press R1 late in order to yeet Pooh out to the stratosphere. Get over 40 yards, and then talk to Pooh down by the bridge. Do the minigame again, and this time we'll do it the right way by pressing R1 while Owl's wings stall at their peak. This just in, kid with spiky hair and yellow bear hate homeless donkeys, more at 11. All of Tigger's bouncing is super easy as you just repeat what he does, but for the pot, you can break it easier the sooner you hit the nuts back at it. So ideally, you can get it in about 3 hits. Get under 30 seconds for a great score, though if it takes too long, walk off the stump and talk to Roo to try again. Now we'll collect the rare nuts for Owl, and the chests. Just remember to turn in each nut as you collect it because you can only carry one at a time for some reason. Also use Power Up and Defense Ups on Sora right away. Here's a sped up version of how I do the Muddy Path. After you seal the keyhole, go back in and go to Pooh's house. Light his fire and talk to him, then talk to Owl and you'll get cheer for Sora. Now talk to Fairy Godmother and get Dumbo and Bambi summons. Leave the world. Now we're going to go to Olympus, and we'll do the Phil, Pegasus, and Hercules cups. Here's some of the items you can get from the entrance area. And here's the setup for the party's equipment, abilities, and customization. For the Phil Cup, you're way overpowered, so you're just going to be spamming magic here. You're going to cast Blizzara at the beginning of every fight and then combo the rest of the enemies. For the 4th seed, Hard Hitters, you're going to jump and cast Thundara, then melee the survivors. For the 3rd seed, Indomitable, you're going to melee the Green Requiems first, then cast Blizzara on the large bodies. And for the 1st seed, Shadow Battalion, start by casting Thundara as it should kill the Blue Rhapsodies, then melee the rest of the enemies. You'll get a trophy for doing the Phil Cup. Now do all that again via alone, just Sora, to which you'll get a trophy, and then do it again timed, where you'll get another trophy. It'll be a total breeze since you're somewhere around level 38-40, which is way overpowered for this. For the Pegasus Cup, you'll be a bit more reliant on Thundara as it has a bigger area effect than Blizzara does. Cast Thundara off the bat for most fights, and then melee the remaining enemies. For the 6th seed, Pots and Bolts, start off casting Blizzara and then melee the stragglers. For the 4th seed, Toadstool, you're going to gravity spam the black fungi until they're dead. I combo them and get lucky here, but the gravity spam will make it go so much faster. On the 2nd seed, Giant Impact, save as much magic as you can and only melee the Heartless. Only use magic here to heal if necessary. For the 1st seed, Leon and Yuffie, you're going to press triangle while locked onto Leon so that Donald and Goofy focus him, and then cast Aero on yourself, and focus Yuffie until she's defeated. Block her shuriken as she throws them to get a chance to stun her, and only 2-hit combo her so that you don't knock her away, unless you're in a corner, in which case she has nowhere to go. After Yuffie is defeated, focus Leon. 2-hit jumping combos will work for basically the entire fight, even after he summons his giant crystal blade. You'll get a trophy for completing the Pegasus Cup. When Goofy gets MP Gift, equip it and customize him like this. You can beat the Pegasus Cup alone, just Sora, and the time trial now. However, it's much easier after having Aurora from Neverland in the Yellow Trinity room, which you can acquire after completing the Hercules Cup. So now we're going to do the Hercules Cup. Here's the new setup. Be sure to unequip Donald and Goofy's second wind abilities. Use Blizzara or Thundara to start a match and melee the stragglers. If you run into Battleship Heartless, use Gravira on them to bring them down to the ground. For the 5th seed, Mad Truffle, you can get the 100 hits by jumping, doing one attack, then landing and repeating in a rhythm. You're likely to level up and regain some magic, though it is a bit of a time sink, so you can just hit it once and move on. Remember Cloud? Yeah. Field Tactic still works on him, just do this until he dies. If you let him kill Donald and Goofy, you may even defeat him without him ever getting a chance to use his flying Omni-Slash attack. If he does manage to do his Omni-Slash and he finishes it, and Donald and Goofy are alive, you can throw the 2-hit method out the window and just wail on him until he's defeated. The next 2 seeds are the same as the first few. Now Hercules himself is still fairly easy, but the way you'll want to combo him is jump 2 hits, then jump again, and do a full combo. He'll either do a retaliation attack, or he'll go into God mode. If it isn't God mode, repeat the 2 jumping hit followed by a full jumping combo. Use barrels to knock him out of God mode. Of course, absolutely, that's how that works. Yes sir. After getting Yellow Trinity, unlock the keyhole here, then go to Neverland, and go into this room, defeat the enemies, unlock the chests, get Aurora, and then you can come back to do the Pegasus Cup alone and timed, if you didn't already. I recommend it because the time trial drops a dark matter for synthesis, which there are a limited amount of. Do the Pegasus Cup alone and timed the same way we did it before. And once you're done getting Aurora and you've done the fill and Pegasus Cup alone and time trials, we're going to fight Hollow Bastion, after grabbing an item from the clock tower at the beginning of an hour so you won't accidentally miss any while gummy shitless. We're only going to be doing the very beginning of this world, so here's the items you can grab pre-betrayal. Here's Beast Setup. And here's a sped up version of where to go. After you unlock the castle gates, go fight Riku again. So there's a pattern you can do to keep yourself safe from Riku's attacks. Wait for him to use a dash attack, then do 1 air combo on him. Back off and he'll do a spin attack, and then another dash. At the end of his first or second dash, whichever you're closest to, you can do a full combo. Then repeat the cycle. It's a bit hard to pull off. I do a decent job, and if you find this strat harder than just clobbering him, then just clobber him, you know? You do you. Here's how to complete the library puzzle. After you open this door, grab this chest in the lift stop by casting Gravity, and then ride the elevator to this other chest that you can also cast Gravity on. Come back, open the library door, and get all the emblem pieces. Grab this chest above the emblem door, and then place all the pieces. After the cutscene, head back to the library and leave the world. Now we're going to get all the remaining items from all the worlds. The Sniper Wild setup is basically giving Sora whatever Keyblade you have that has the most magic, then give him Ethers and Mega Ethers and equip MP Gift to Goofy. You're going to combo the lone Sniper Wild, then when the next 2 spawn you'll cast Stop and combo them. Then when 3 spawn you'll cast Stop near the back 2, then attack the lone one, then cast Stop again on the back 2 and combo them like you did before. The cycle will now repeat, but you'll have a bit of time before the next Sniper Wild spawns to run out of combat and use cottages or Mega Elixirs to replenish your magic if need be. You'll only need 5 Power Stones, and the percentage goes up from 35% to 50, then 60, and then 100 at each interval of 6 Sniper Wilds defeated. The Gigas Shadow encounter is actually incredibly simple. Be sure to equip a Keyblade with high strength. Equip Strike Ray to Sora and MP Gift to Goofy. First 3 waves are regular shadows, which will be your best source for Lucid Shards. Then the Gigas Shadows will spawn, and what you'll do is lock onto one and cast Strike Raid. Once you complete your Strike Raid, do it again. Repeat this until you've killed all the Gigas Shadows. The invincibility from Strike Raid will prevent them from doing any damage to you in retreating. Black Ballad is a fairly straightforward but time-consuming fight. There's no special setup for this. The best way to do this is to pause buffer and hope you don't accidentally lose the right one while it's flying around. Keep an eye on the one that bounces, as that's the one you want to hit when all 5 Black Ballads stop moving. Get 5 of its stones and then go to the treehouse. For Pink Agaricus, we aren't worried about getting 100 hits or anything like that at the moment. This is strictly acquiring a Serenity power for synthesizing an EXP accessory. Equip a Keyblade with the highest magic, likely Lady Luck, and equip Ars Arcanum since we don't have Ragnarok yet. Do the normal setup of casting Stop on the 3 white mushrooms, and if you're on PS3, hide Donald and Goofy on this ledge and summon Bambi. Come to the opposite side of the newly spawned Pink Agaricus and dismiss Bambi when you're at full MP and have casted Aurora on yourself. Jump and cast Stop on Pink Agaricus as you fall into it. Cast Ars Arcanum, don't do the extra hits, then attack once or twice and then cast Ars Arcanum again. Repeat until the Heartless starts taking damage, and then hope you get 40 plus hits. If no Serenity power drops, then jump down to the tunnel and either save and soft reset, or run back up and hope it spawns again. Serenity power has a 10% drop rate at 40, 50, and 60 hits, and you aren't likely to hit any higher than that for now. For Pink Agaricus, we aren't worried about getting 100 hits or anything like that at the moment. This is strictly acquiring a Serenity power for synthesizing an EXP accessory. Equip a Keyblade with the highest magic, likely Lady Luck, and equip Ars Arcanum since we don't have Ragnarok yet. Do the normal setup of casting Stop on the 3 white mushrooms, and if you're on PS3, hide Donald and Goofy on this ledge and summon Bambi. Come to the opposite side of the newly spawned Pink Agaricus and dismiss Bambi when you're at full MP and have casted Aurora on yourself. Jump and cast Stop on Pink Agaricus as you fall into it. Cast Ars Arcanum, don't do the extra hits, then attack once or twice and then cast Ars Arcanum again. Repeat until the Heartless starts taking damage, and then hope you get 40 plus hits. If no Serenity power drops, then jump down to the tunnel and either save and soft reset, or run back So Pot Scorpion only spawns at the palace gates, and you'll know because the room will be littered in freaking pots. Gently shove them, and all except one will move. The only one that doesn't move is the Pot Scorpion. Destroy the 11 other pots, which has the potential to drop a Mithril Stone. When there's only one pot left, hit it to start the fight. Pot Scorpion is deceptively simple. All you need is whichever Keyblade has the most strength and the guard ability equipped. Attack the invincible Pot Shell to taunt it. Then the Pot Scorpion will do a 2-swipe. This is a fake out. When it rears back a bit, that's when you throw up your guard, and you'll stun it. Do combos until it gets back up and then repeat. Its final phase is where it dips its tail into its own head and then shoots out big pools of poison everywhere. Attack the invincible Pot Shell like before, but this time when it turns to you, block immediately to stun the Pot Scorpion. Combo it, boom, you're done. Okay, so for Chimera, you're going to want a long Keyblade for hitting the red, yellow, and green orbs back at the Chimera's head. You won't actually be doing much melee damage to it, so a Keyblade like Pumpkinhead is fine. First, you'll know if the Chimera spawns because White Knights will spawn in the Mana Ruins, and the glitched red Trinity will be on the wall too, even if you've already gotten it. When you beat the 3 rounds of White Knights, the Chimera will crash down. This is Phase 1, and it's where you want to just pummel its face until Phase 2 starts. Phase 2 is why I hate this enemy. The only thing that's ever seemed to work for me is to step back from the Chimera and deliberately hit the orbs back at its head when they bounce towards me. This works actually super well whether or not the Chimera is on a rock or on the ground. Now it's worth noting that the orbs will return to the Chimera's like glass face if they hit you, and what's frustrating is they'll return if they hit Donald or Goofy too. And yeah, that's basically it. 6 successful hits of any of the 3 orbs will give a 20% chance of a Blazing Stone. 9 successful hits nets a 40% chance for a Blazing Stone, and defeating the Chimera nets a 35% chance. This enemy is stupid. Jet Balloon can be a difficult one depending on how the wind is blowing. Your best bet is to go ham on high magic, Keyblades, and accessories. Equip MP Gift to Goofy and change Donald's customization so he constantly does advanced magic, and move everything else to occasionally. Now, go to the ship deck, flying your Jet Balloon when it spawns and cast Stopra, then Gravira, then Stopra, then Gravira, and flip-flop those until it dies. Also be sure it dies over the boat, as if it drops Dazzling Stones into the water, you just outright lose them, so it's okay to wait till it flies over the boat to cast or recast Stopra. So, like I put before, I only completed collections of all the shards, Mystery Goo, Mithril, and 1 Serenity Power for the synthesis, so I was able to make a Mega Potion through Golem Chain, Moogle Badge, Dark Ring, and Gaia Bangle through Mithril, as well as the Atlas Armlet. I also got 2 trophies in the process. Now let's head back to Hollow Bastion and grab all the items we can get our mitts on. Here's a sped up version of where all the items are. For Maleficent's first fight, equip all ethers, ethers, who cares, equip them. And you're going to try to balance Sora's strength and magic by equipping Lady Luck as well as 2 strength accessories and 1 magic accessory. Also equip Ars Arcanum and Combo Plus. And MP Gift to Goofy, honestly you might as well just keep that on forever because it's an amazing ability. Run up to start the fight and leap onto her like floaty thing, then do 3 hits but not a full combo, then trigger Ars Arcanum. Don't use its finisher. Do Ars Arcanum again, then do 3 hits again, then do Ars Arcanum 2 more times without the finisher, and you win. For Dragon Maleficent, set up by maxing out your magic, likely Lady Luck, Atlas Armlet, etc., and put Stopper in your shortcut menu, then start the fight. And what you'll immediately do is jump and cast Stopper, then do a combo and summon Genie. Run to her back leg and wait for Genie's heads to fully lock on, then press triangle. Use Stopper as necessary until Genie's bar runs out. Then combo her head for the remaining bars while casting Stopper to keep her in place. Boom, done, easy peasy. So check your time right now. There's one of 2 possibilities. Either you've gotten all 12 of the Clock Tower items, or you haven't. If you have, save if you'd like and move on to the Riku fight. But if you haven't, you're going to grab the current hour item, if you haven't already, and either grab all 12 hours if you're worried you may miss any, or we can keep moving. If you decide to keep moving, here's what's about to happen. We're going to fight Riku and complete Hollow Bastion a second time. Then we're going to the library to talk to Aerith to get Curaga, and talk to Belle to get Divine Rose. Then we're going to visit the puppies to get Aeroga. Then we're going to do the first 20 seeds of the Hades Cup for Blizzaga and Thundaga. And last, go to the ship cabin in Neverland to fight Phantom. Now, here's the tricky part. Being able to do all of that within 2 hours. If you think you can do it, save now and follow along. If not, I recommend at the very least getting hours 1, 2, 4, 8, 9, and 10 before moving on to the Riku fight. Made your choice? Great. I opted to do the former, so this next section will be for people trying to defeat the Phantom as fast as possible. But before we start, we're going to wait at the Castle Chapel save point until the 59th minute of the current hour. Then set a timer for a minute. Leave Hollow Bastion and wait in the Neverland disembark screen until your timer goes off. Land in the clock tower, grab your item, warp back to Hollow Bastion, and land at the Castle Chapel. For the Riku fight, equip Olympia, Ravensclaw, and Ifrit's Horn. You can put anything you like in the 3rd slot, like Titan Chain or EXP accessory. Equip Combo Plus as well. Be sure to save before fighting Riku. Here's how we beat Riku. I'm actually really bad at the pattern, but it's a speedrun strat that basically goes like this. After Riku does a helm split, do 1 air hit, then wait a second, and then do a combo. Riku will respond by spinning. Move a little back and jump in 1 air hit him again, and then pause and do a ground combo. Repeat this until you win. However, if he breaks the loop, which can happen, just wait for another helm split to try again. Now, If he casts a Dark Aura, be sure to stand here, because barring the first dash, none of his strikes or energy blasts at the end can hit you. Keep to the pattern, or if it's proving too difficult, you can always just keep Aero on and wail on until you win. Here's where to go as a Shadow. Then talk to Sid, then to the secret waterway for the Navi Gummi piece, then to Sid again, then leave. When you're en route back to Hollow Bastion, here are the ship blueprints you can get: Goblin, Ahriman, Alexander, Siren, Ifrit, Shiva, Odin, Stingray, and Death Guys. When you land in Hollow Bastion, leave Beast behind. Jump into this bubble for this chest, then go up like you normally would, except at these two spots we'll use this Dumbo skip. Make sure you're in combat for the Dumbo skip to work. Make your way to this chest in the Grand Hall, you'll get a trophy top dog here, then grab these other two chests. Then go into the Big Heart. You can defeat the Behemoth by using a mix of Gravity Spam if you have high enough magic, or Aurora and combos. Either way, it's easy. After completing Hollow Bastion the second time, run down the same way we did as a Shadow and talk to Aerith 3 times for Curaga in the library, then go up the stairs to trigger the Beast cutscene, then talk to Belle to get Divine Rose. Now leave and land in the first district. Run through the alley and into the Dalmatian house to get Aeroga from their chests. Now go to the accessory shop and fly to the Coliseum. Here's the setup for the first 20 Hades Cup matches. With this setup, you're mostly going to leave the magic to Donald while you wail on the enemies. Don't bother doing 100 hits on C45. Use Gravira on bigger enemies like battleships, defenders, Black Fungus, Fat Bandit, and large bodies. At seed 50, use the same tactic of defeating Behemoth as we did in Hollow Bastion. As a side note, you can quit every 10 seeds and re-enter at the 40th, 30th, etc. seed to quick replenish your health and magic. However, if you're on the clock with me, no, don't bother. For the 34th seed, Optical Trick, defeat the smaller Heartless first, then continually 2-air hit the Stealth Sneak as to avoid becoming visible and wasting your time with invincibility frames. As a general side note, if a wizard casts Thunder, throw Aeroga on yourself and just run into it to defeat it. The last fight we're going to do for now is against Cerberus, and it's the exact same setup as last time. Jump onto its back when he barfs, or repeatedly jump into air combos. Then stand by the right or left head in 2-hit and sometimes 3-hit combo until he slams his paws, then repeat the cycle. After defeating Cerberus, we'll get Thundaga, and then we'll quit out of the cup, use Blizzaga on the torches to get this item, and then go fight Phantom. If you're not on the clock and want to finish the Hades Cup, feel free to look in the description for the next 30 seeds. However, you're so welcome to come beat Phantom with us, as it's a really easy fight. Go to Neverland and land in Cabin. Switch out Donald for Peter Pan, and here's the setup. So for the Phantom fight, let Peter Pan die while you do whatever the Phantom Heart requires. Red is fire, blue is blizzard, yellow is thunder, and white is melee. After 6 hits, Phantom will charge up an attack by the clock face, fly around to the backside, and wait until you hear like a psh sound, and then fly back and repeat the process. Once he curses Goofy, cast Stop on any clock face, and then cast Stop again whenever you go to the reverse side of the clock to dodge his charge attack. This is the whole fight. Just repeat until Phantom is defeated. Using Aeroga here is unnecessary, just use Curaga if you get hit. Once you've beaten Phantom, you can collect hourly items again. Two things, real quick, before continuing the Hades Cup. First head to Wonderland and land in the rabbit hole, then go towards the door to the Bazaar Room, then turn around and fight the enemies. The third secret chest will appear when you defeat these enemies. Second, this is where we're going to fight the Stealth Soldier. I beat it by casting Stop when it spawns and then doing combos if possible. Casting Stop again, and repeat until it's defeated. It can only show up in the entrance hall and the Grand Hall of Hollow Bastion. After collecting 6 energy stones, head back to the Coliseum and we'll finish up the Hades Cup. I'll only comment on important fights for the latter 30 seeds, and you'll be using the same setup as the first 20 seeds. The only seed of note between 20 and 30 is the 20th seed. Have Donald and Goofy focus Cloud, while you repeatedly 2-air hit Leon. Once Leon is defeated, have everybody focus Cloud. Quit on the 19th seed to replenish your HP and MP, and also equip the guard ability and all elixirs to Sora. Then talk to Phil again to keep fighting. On the seeds where invisibles show up, they're going to be the enemies you focus first, as they can take your health out the fastest. Using gravity spells on them is the most effective way to deal with them. For Hades himself, you're going to want to keep Lysaga ready to use for whenever Hades shouts, take that. Run along the side of Hades when he says, feel the heat, and then after his arm spin attack, be sure to block his fireballs back at him so you can stun him and then get tech points. For the 7th seed, you're definitely going to want to take out the invisibles with Graviga as soon as possible, then Air 2 hit the Stealth Sneak on repeat. In seed 6, just hit the white mushrooms. For the 4th seed, there is no difference from any of the other time we fight a Stealth Sneak, just focus one at a time. For the 2nd seed, when invisibles show up, gravity spam them as best you can, use elixirs as needed. The only thing of note against the Rock Titan is that you can cast Aeroga on everybody for more tech points, but he really is a walk in the park. After you defeat the Rock Titan, you can challenge the Ice Titan. All you'll need is 2 high defense accessories, and Shiva Belt is your 3rd. And the Keyblade with the most magic. Never cast Aero here, and always use Guard to block the icicles back at the Ice Titan's head. Make sure you have Second Chance and Leaf Bracer on too, as it will make the fight much easier. Heal liberally and use elixirs if you run out of magic. The last Orichalcum we need for synthesis is now out by the golden statues in a purple vase to the right of the lobby door. Grab it and then we'll head for End of the World. Omega is the only new blueprint you can get on this route. You'll also get a trophy after reaching End of the World. For End of the World, I'm going to gloss over most of it, however I will show you the chest locations in Giant Crevasse, I don't know how to pronounce that, and then talk about the Chernobog and Gauntlet fights. Also, as for the items and enemies in World Terminus, most of them are pretty straightforward, and you can grab the synthesis items of enemies here that you may have missed. Chernobog is fairly easy. Keep up Aeroga and attack from behind his head. Be sure to fly away if you see Chernobog hunching over, as he'll likely cast his Fire Pillar attack, and that's truly the whole fight. After defeating him, fly down and through the caverns to the Gauntlet Room. Defeating the behemoth is much the same as before, and after you defeat it, you'll get a small moment to pause. Equip Diamond Dust and all MP boosting accessories. Use Cottage, and then after the short cutscene, immediately summon Dumbo to defeat the first wave of Heartless. Then for the second wave, dismiss Dumbo and summon Bambi, and use Gravity Spam. Keep the last invisible alive, so you can dismiss Bambi, run up to the heart symbol, then defeat the last invisible, then immediately summon Simba. Make sure you use fully charged blasts to defeat all the enemies, as it should totally demolish the remaining waves of Heartless. It can be kinda hard though, so if at any point Simba doesn't get a full blast aoff or you get hit, you can dismiss Simba, cast Aeroga, and use Gravity Spam, or just pummel the enemies instead. Get the chest at the final save and examine the door. We aren't going to fight Ansem now, but we're getting the short cutscene out of the way. Save and then soft reset. Run in and out of the Gauntlet Room 4 times or until Neoshadow spawn. We're going to grind them for 4 Stormy Stones, and then whatever synthesis you have left to do, now's the time to do it. I will also show you my level grind route in Traverse Town, where you can get all the crystals, as well as the Defender Shield and Wizard's Relic weapons for Goofy and Donald respectively. As for the Neoshadow, it has 4 phases. Phase 1 is a bunch that will throw their bodies at you. Keep Aeroga up and just attack whatever ones are near you that aren't floating. Try to kill one at a time, as killing one Neoshadow heals the others. Phase 2 is where they all go underground, and you have to try and defeat each one. Sort of like a hide and seek, but it's pretty easy. Phase 3 is the last 2 Neoshadows, where one tries to grab your leg and the other tries to avoid you. Defeat the one trying to avoid you. In Phase 4, the last Neoshadow will spawn in the middle of the room, and you'll have to clobber it before it can summon more Neoshadows. If you feel uneasy, you can always attack the Neoshadows that are climbing out of the ground before attacking the final Neoshadow. That's all there is to it. I really do recommend saving after each Neoshadow encounter, soft resetting, and then trying again, because I could not get it to spawn very easily unless I did that. Time for our second round of synthesis materials. Ideally, you have the screenshots from earlier, but let's go a bit more in depth. From our earlier list, we should have all necessary shards collected, all necessary mithrils collected, all necessary orichalcums collected, 11 dark matters collected, all necessary mystery goo collected, and all necessary stones collected, and likely all necessary gales collected from invisibles and angel stars from End of the World. Which means all that remain are all necessary gems, all necessary crystals, and 6 serenity power. If you're already done with the synthesis, feel free to move on. Otherwise, let's talk about the gems. You'll need 13 lucid gems, which are dropped by white knights and gargoyles. They still spawn in Halloween Town, but they also spawn in the Halloween Town World Terminus at End of the World. You'll need 7 spirit gems, which are dropped by air soldiers, who frequent in the Olympus Coliseum World Terminus. You'll need 11 power gems, which are dropped from pirates, air pirates, and battleships. Either Neverland or its World Terminus will do. 10 blaze gems are dropped by bandits and fat bandits in Agrabah and in its World Terminus. 10 frost gems, which are dropped by sea neons and sheltering zones, and 15 thunder gems from screwdivers and aqua tanks, both of which found in Atlantica and its World Terminus. As for the 8 spirit gems dropped by search ghosts, I find their best farm via the Traverse Town level grind loop I'm about to show you, where you can get all the crystals you need for the synthesis too. But first, let's talk about serenity power. You need to grab 6 more from the pink Agaricus, the drop rates being 10% at 40, 50, 60 hits, 20% at 70, 80, 90 hits, and 100% at 100 hits. So, now we're going to talk about how to get 100 hits on pink Agaricus. Firstly, if you are on the shield route, you'll need to be at least level 66, as that's when your magic upgrades for the last time. Now that's the earliest you can do it, however I found it easier to get 100 hits when I was somewhere between level 84 and 99. It's your choice when you do it, I'm just going to show you the 2 options of how. So, to get 100 hits and get Prime Cap, either way you'll want Diamond Dust and 3 MP boosting accessories. Put Stopka and Aeroga in your shortcut menu, put Hurricane Blast and Ragnarok on too, and be sure you have the Bambi summon. So if you're on PS3, first you want to make sure the white mushroom spawns here. Don't use Stopka on it, but on the other 2 first. Then bring Donald and Goofy back here and cast Stopka, and then summon Bambi. Then run into the treehouse and cast Aeroga on yourself, and once at full MP, dismiss Bambi, and jump and fall into the pink Agaricus, and then cast Ragnarok. Hold Ragnarok for a bit at the end so more shots go off, then use 2 air combos, which is 3 hits per combo, and then repeat the process. This is definitely the harder option, as having 2 air combo pluses and aerial sweep makes this fight way easier, which means doing it the easy way isn't an option until level 99. The easier setup is exactly the same, except you'll have 2 air combo pluses equipped and aerial sweep equipped. And what you'll do is after casting Ragnarok, you'll do 1 full 5-hit air combo. Then you'll cast Ragnarok again and repeat. These are your options, so you can either come at level 66 when you're at max magic, level 84 when you have aerial sweep, or 99 when you have both air combo pluses. Now let's talk about level grinding. What I do is equip all the XP accessories I have onto Goofy, and then I go to Traverse Town. I go to where the Red Trinity was in the first district and into the alley, and I defeat all the enemies on the ground. Then I jump onto the balconies from here and defeat the Heartless on the balconies. Then I go to the Green Room, and then the Red Room in the Hotel Hall. I defeat the enemies in the hall, and then I go out the left hotel door into the second district. And if the Sniper Wild spawns, I walk backwards into the hotel again. Be aware, I don't use Encounter Plus for this level grind. I walk back out to the second district, and if I don't see Sniper Wild, I jump down and defeat the enemies here. Then the ones by the Dalmatian door, then the ones by the third district door, then the enemies by the fountain, then the enemies here, 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 and here. Now, if Sniper Wild didn't spawn when you came out of the hotel, super glide to the ladder and clear out the rooftops before going into the Gizmo shop, because it's likely to spawn upon exiting. If it did initially spawn, just clear out the Gizmo shop and then clear out the second district rooftops. After that, I head through this window into the third district. I defeat all the enemies on this balcony, then I jump down to defeat all the enemies in the center, and the 2 enemies behind the fountain, and then I go back to the first district and repeat the cycle. I get a lot of money in XP. It takes maybe 6 to 9 minutes depending on mistakes and load times and such. Also, I usually level up at least once every time I loop, so as you get higher level and your equipment and magic gets stronger, it just gets faster. So next let's talk about secret bosses. Firstly, Siza. I grind up to level 70 to fight Siza, and truthfully we're going to be a little overpowered, but oh well. There's no special reason why 70, it's just like a nice round number. Here's the setup. Siza has 2 phases. Phase 1 will start with Kurt putting an anti-magic spell on you so you can't use magic. It'll also bring out its big blades, and that likes to spin a lot. At the very beginning of this phase, you'll have a chance to cast 1 spell. I recommend Aeroga, though if you prefer Tinkerbell, it probably wouldn't be the worst move. For this phase, all you have to do is break the orbs in its hands. The first time, it'll likely only do 2 moves. Its spinning attack, which you can just dodge roll away from. I'm bad at this. And a little hop back followed by a lunge, which you can dodge towards and get invincibility frames if you time it right. After you break the orbs, Siza will fall and you'll be able to attack its true health bar. But eventually Siza will rise up again and start its phase 2. This time it'll float with a big shield on that only magic can damage. Curaga works super well to damage the shield, and melee attacking the shield will cause MP balls to drop, so I wouldn't worry about being too conservative with your magic. The 2 attacks Siza will do in phase 2 is, the first one it'll swing its body and summon 3 sand tornadoes you can easily dodge out of. The second move is it'll move its arms in a circular motion, immediately cast Aeroga, and then just run your body into the fireballs that appear, and they'll fly directly at Kurt and do damage to his shield. After the shield is broken, Kurt will drop again and you can do damage to the direct health bar again. Now the cycle will repeat, with a few new moves added to the fight depending on Kurt's health. In phase 1, he'll add a horizontal and vertical spin move, which is easy to dodge with the right timing. Jump over the horizontal one, and then dodge roll to the side during the vertical. He's also much more likely to trigger that attack when he hops backwards, so either get really close or stand really far back just in case. And in phase 2, he'll slam his body into the ground, which causes energy balls to chase you until one big one flies at you. Dodge rolling constantly keeps you safe here. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now, for Unknown and Sephiroth, I grind up to level 80 to fight both, and I usually go after Unknown first, though the order really isn't important. Here's the setup I use for Unknown. So basically how this works is you want to get close up to Unknown, so he uses his shield, and then his 2 laser lightsaber swipe thing. Jump out of the way of the lightsaber swipe, and as he performs the second hit, cast Curaga on him. This will stun Unknown, and then you can get some combos off on him, which will likely prompt him to use the shield and 2 swipe again, allowing you to cast Curaga again, which can keep him stun locked, so you can kind of just repeat that until he breaks out. Now, you'll notice I also equipped Strike Rate. I always cast it the instant Unknown comes out of their big magic energy warp thing, this. Because if Unknown decides to shock your command menu while you're in Strike Raid, you'll be invincible, so the shock won't work. Now, if Unknown doesn't cast the shock, keep using Strike Raid until it's over, as you'll do extra damage, but also because Unknown might use it as his second attack instead, so be careful. I also always keep Aeroga up to mitigate damage. Now, if you do find yourself in the shock command, don't bother trying to release from the base menu, only use the triangle prompt, as it's easier to see when it changes. You can also cast Gravity whenever Unknown finishes his long string of lightsaber attacks to re-trigger the shield 2-swipe loop if you're so inclined. You'll know you've made it to the final phase when Unknown summons a ball around itself that shoots beams out of it. Dodge roll to keep safe. You can also use Strike Rate for invincibility, but it won't damage Unknown, so it kind of just is a waste of magic. I also noticed in this last phase, Unknown may be prompted to shock your command menu after every attack, so always be prepared to cast Strike Rate if you get an inkling his next attack might be the shock. And that's the whole fight. Here's the setup for Sephiroth. Firstly, Aeroga isn't necessary here. Save your magic for Curaga and Strike Raid. Now, there's 3 phases to the Sephiroth fight. The first one is him being really slow and he only has 3 attacks. A quick swipe, a lunge forward with a backwards hop, and then the fire pillars. The only thing worth note here is the fire pillars will come in 2 instances. First, after you successfully land a combo, Sephiroth will do 1 normal attack and then the fire pillars. Second, if Sephiroth attacks 4 times, his 5th will more than likely be the fire pillars. In phase 2, Sephiroth will be a bit more active. The only real new attack is Sin Harvest Angel or whatever Lance Bass is saying. You can either super glide to Sephiroth and combo him, or get as far away as you can, get an elixir ready and use it the instant he finishes his animation. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same as phase 1 except Sephiroth is teleporting and running. There's one other new thing, and it's Sephiroth's Omni-Slash attack. I just use Strike Rate here so I don't have to bother dodging, and if I time it right, Judgment will be able to do damage at the very end of that attack. You'll know phase 3 has started because Sephiroth will start summoning orbs around Sora. Be sure you're jumping anytime Sephiroth says come, as it'll negate the ring of orbs hitting you. And when Sephiroth does his Meteor Desperation attack, be sure to stay by the edge of the arena, and when the meteor comes around, dodge roll towards Sephiroth and then back. You can then dodge roll out of the way of the giant energy ball, but tanking or leaf race healing through the attack is fine too. I actually found ground combos to be more effective against him in the last phase, or if you want, pop an elixir and just spam Strike Raid. After you beat Sephiroth, you should get the trophy for beating him and 2 getting all the keyblades, assuming you've already made Ultimate Weapon. Now all that's left to do is to complete the Hercules and Hades Cup alone and timed. Here's the setup for both. In the Hercules Cup alone, just Sora. Basically, you're going to just cast Thundaga to kill all the enemies. It's outlandishly easy. The old tried and true cloud method holds up great when you're alone, and Hercules doesn't change at all for any version of this, so it's all good. For Hercules Cup timed, using Thundaga still demolishes everything, so no worries there. Try to just muscle your way through Cloud as fast as you can. It's likely Donald and Goofy will be too high level to actually be defeated here, so just try to bot Cloud quickly instead of using the tried and true method. Hercules, again, also the same. For the Hades Cup, I'm going to gloss over a little bit because we're way over leveled, but I'll give you important details. A jump into Thundaga will demolish most fights. Be sure to have Aeroga on to make quick work of Yuffie. Behemoth is the same as it ever was. Quit out on the 40th, 30th, 20th, and 10th seed if you want to quickly replenish your health and magic, then just immediately re-enter on that same seed. One black fungus shows up, cast gravity spam on it. No need to stray from the 2-hit air melee when stealth sneak shows up. Don't cast thunder on an angel star or wizard as that'll heal them. Cerberus is exactly the same as before too. For Leon and Cloud, focus Leon first, then do the Cloud strat we always use. Always focus Invisible first when it shows up. The Hades fight is exactly the same. Be sure you quit at the 10th seed and replace Thundaga with Graviga in your shortcut menu. Now the only seed that'll give you any trouble is the 3rd seed, and it's why we have Graviga on a shortcut. Here's how to beat it. I'm also not going to talk about the Rock Titan, he's dumb easy. For the timed Hades Cup, you're going to do exactly the same as the Alone, except you can't quit out every 10 seeds as far as I know. A good way to check if you're making good progress is to be sure you're taking absolutely no longer than 4 minutes per 10 seeds. Here's a quick list of the times you could have per 10 seeds. Okay, so let's type some loose ends here. Let's talk about how to get all the weapons. Firstly, keyblades. Kingdom Key, Jungle King, 3 Wishes, Crab Claw, Pumpkinhead, Fairy Heart, and Oathkeeper are all obtained through story progress, so be sure you've completed the worlds to get these keys. Wishing Star is obtained from a chest in Geppetto's house. Spellbinder is obtained from Merlin after you get all 7 spells. Lady Luck is from the White Trinity in Wonderland. Metal Chocobo is from defeating Cloud in the Hercules Cup. Olympia is from completing the Failed Pegasus and Hercules Cup. Lionheart is from defeating Leon and Cloud in the Hades Cup. Diamond Dust is from defeating the Ice Titan. One Wing Angel is from defeating Sephiroth. Divine Rose is from talking to Belle in the library of Hollow Bastion. Oblivion is found in a chest on this ledge in the Grand Hall of Hollow Bastion. Ultimate Weapon is from Synthesis. Now Donald's Staves. Mage Staff is his default, so no worries there. Morningstar, Magistaff, Warhammer, Shooting Star, Wisdom Staff, Silver Mallet, and Grand Mallet can all be bought at the item shop in Traverse Town. Wizard's Relic is dropped by the Wizard Heartless. You can turn Encounter Plus on and just grind the alleyway, which is where most wizards spawn in Traverse Town. Lord Fortune you get from the Fairy Godmother after collecting all the summons. Dreamrod you get from Merlin after collecting all the God-level spells. Violetta is from the White Trinity in Olympus. Save the Queen is from completing the Hades Cup alone. Meteor Strike is a chest in Giant Crevasse. I still don't know how to say that. And Fantasista is from the Synthesis. Now, Goofy shields. Night Shield is his default. Stout, Mithril, Golem, Onyx, Adamant Shield, as well as Smasher and Gigas Fist can all be bought from the item shop. Defender is dropped from the Defender Heartless. I recommend turning on Encounter Plus and defeating the 6 defenders that appear in the open area of the 3rd district on repeat to get the shield. Genji Shield is from defeating Yuffie in the Hades Cup. Herc Shield is from defeating Hercules in the Hercules Cup. Save the King is from completing the Hades Cup time trial. Dream Shield is from turning in all the arts to Merlin. Mighty Shield is from a chest in the Neverland World Terminus at End of the World. And lastly, 7 Elements is from Synthesis. Now we're going to grab all the accessories, which is completely optional, but I like doing it. Basically, as long as you complete the Synthesis and buy one of each accessory from the accessory shop, you'll have it done. Here's a quick list of all the accessories if you're interested. The last 2 loose ends are first Mystery Mold, another optional thing, but it's a special item dropped by Black Fungus if you defeat them with a critical hit. It's literally only used to be sold for cash, so you can go to Agrabah, put a lad in the party, and wail on Black Fungus in the bazaar until Mystery Mold drops, and then go sell it. Also, the last loose end, there's a trophy for reaching level 100. If you're interested in doing that, you can use the Traverse Town grind to do so. After all of that, though, all that's left is Gummi Missions, Gummi Blueprints, and then Ansem. Alright, so I'm not going to be too overly explanatory here with the Gummi Missions. We're going to go world by world and overview what the mission is and how to beat it. Most are easy, but I'll go a bit more in depth with some of the more challenging ones. This is the ship we're going to use as a base for most missions. I titled it as Ship 1, and I'll let you know when we're going to use it or make variants of it. Also, be sure to set up your configuration like this. Now, Traverse Town Mission 1, you likely already completed by sheer accident when you return there the second time. All you need is to get 80 points. Wonderland or Olympus will work, doesn't matter. Traverse Town Mission 2 is to set off from Olympus and get 30 more shield blocks. I like to slow down here so I can get all 16 shield blocks, and after the next area loads in, I drive slow to get shield blocks until like 30, and then I'll just pace my way to Traverse Town. You'll get a trophy for doing a 2nd level Gummi mission. For Traverse Town Mission 3, we have to set off from Hollow Bastion while taking no damage and getting a score of 0 without using a shield Gummi. This is Ship A. You're going to save it twice and then pair the two in the transformation menu. And what we'll do now is, from Hollow Bastion, fly to the purple warp and then keep yourself safe from being hit by anything by keeping moving. If you feel like you're going to get hit, use Transform as it'll give you invincibility frames. Be aware you can only use Transform 8 times. At the end of the warp path, be sure you're on the left side so that you go to Traverse Town, and you'll get a trophy for doing the 3rd level Gummi mission. Next is Wonderland. Mission 1 is to get a score of 120 or higher. Super easy, use ship 1. I flew from Traverse Town. Mission 2 is to head to Wonderland while using Haste Gummi 5 times and taking no damage. Warp to Agrabah, edit ship 1, take out the big engine for the smallest engine, and then save it in a new slot and rename it as Slow. It's a basic name, but it's apt. And then I set off for the warp hole. Use haste as frequently as you like. You can keep yourself alive by obliterating everything. Also, it never said no shield. As long as you use the haste gummi 5 times, you're good. Be sure you're on the left at the end of the warp so you head towards Wonderland instead of Traverse Town. Mission 3 is to set off from Traverse Town and collect 40 more Gummi blocks, which are dropped from enemy ships. You can use ship 1 and just drive slow until you get 40 Gummi blocks, then haste the rest of the way. Next is Deep Jungle. The first mission is to get 200 points, which we'll use ship 1 and fly from the Coliseum. It'll be really easy. Mission 2 is to set off from Agrabah and collect 10 or more special blocks. Again, ship 1, just drive slow anytime you see a big meteor, and use Osmos/Train Gummies to collect the special blocks, which are shaped like stars. Be sure you exit the warp on the right side to land towards Deep Jungle. Mission 3 is to set off from Wonderland with only Thundaga equipped while destroying 55 or more enemy ships. So, use Slow Ship and replace all the weapons with Thundaga Gummi. You're going to set them up in this sort of condensed but spread out thing, then save it as a new ship and name it Weapon. And we'll use it anytime we need to do a weapon-specific mission. The strategy here is to drive slow and only press fire when enemies are close to you. Don't hold the fire button as that can screw up your timing and then you can miss enemies. It's not overly difficult, but it does have some challenge to it. For the Coliseum's first mission, we need to get 180 points or higher, which is really easy. Use ship 1 and set off from Deep Jungle, and it's really stupid easy, you won't even have to try. For mission 2, we're going to set off from Deep Jungle with only Thundara Gummi equipped, and we need to destroy 70 more enemy ships. Use the weapon ship and set up the Thundaras like this. Now for the actual mission. Tilt down slightly and hold R1. This will keep your aim in place even if you move. Anytime you see enemies off to the top, bottom, or sides, let go of R1 so you can hit them normally. Otherwise, this mission isn't too difficult. Mission 3 is a doozy. You have to set off from Traverse Town and destroy all 140 obstacles. You're going to use the slow ship with 2 Thunder Gummies, 2 Thundara Gummies, 2 Comet, 2 Meteor, and 2 Ultima Gummies too. Hold the brake anytime you see an obstacle. And here's how many obstacles you should have by the loading zone. If you don't have exactly 116, you need to pause and restart. It can be pretty difficult. Also, the idea is to hold your fire down and spam lasers anytime you're near obstacles. Agrabah Mission 1 is to get a score of 330 or higher. Use ship 1 and set off from Traverse Town and fly to the warp near Wonderland. It's a bit of overkill to fly from Traverse Town, but at least you'll know you'll definitely get it. Stay on the right when you reach the end of the warp to fly towards Agrabah. For Mission 2, we need to fly to Agrabah from Wonderland with only Comet Gummies and destroying 130 or more enemy ships. Use weapon ship and put only Comet weapons on. The only tips I have is to slow down before the warp gate to kill some extra enemies, fly slow during the area with the bombs so you can get the majority of them, and stay to the right at the end of the warp. Also, I got the trophy flying ace here because I guess I destroyed 2,500 enemy ships. For Mission 3, we need to collect 130 or more Gummi blocks. These are the blocks dropped by enemies without using Drain or Osmos Gummi. So what we'll do is put this cockpit and a small engine, put some blocks around it, put a haste 2 and radar under it, put a shield on in front, and then put a square of blocks on the outside. Put as many tornado gummies as you can along the left and right. Put your guns in these spots. Save it under the name Big, and then we'll fly from the Coliseum to Agrabah. Basically how this works is you're going to try to destroy as many enemy ships as you can while maneuvering into the blocks they drop. So always aim to kill enemies that are near you as opposed to far away ones, or ones that appear like outside of the bounds of where your ship can reach. Make sure you exit the warp on the left side to fly towards Agrabah. Now we'll do Mission 1 Halloween Town. We need to collect 20 or more power blocks, and since Monstro is in the way of Agrabah, we're going to start at Neverland for every Halloween Town mission. Power are the blue orbs dropped by the tiny meteors. Use ship 1 and just fly slow anytime you come near those tiny meteors. Be aware this is RNG based, so you may need to do it more than once on the off chance 20 power blocks don't even spawn. Mission 2 is destroying 220 ships without using brakes. You can use the slow ship and just demolish as many ships as you can. Mission 3 is to set off from Neverland with only Meteor Gummi as a weapon and get a score of 550 or higher. Use the weapon ship and put in all Meteor weapon gummies. You can use lasers fairly liberally, and Osmos Gummies will be helpful here too. This is actually a lot easier than it seems because there's a lot of enemies and a lot of big meteors that drop special gummies which will completely replenish your power, armor, and shield when collected. Neverland is next, and for its first mission, we need to start from Atlantica and use only Thunder Gummies while destroying at least 150 enemy ships. Use the weapon ship and attach Thunder Gummies like this. The only tip I have is to not get distracted by Diablo ships, as they're harder to kill and you're better off killing the weaker ships that come in groups of 3 or more. For Mission 2, we need a ship with 100 or more Gummi blocks and to fly from the Coliseum to Neverland without taking damage. What we're going to do is take ship 1 and make it into a minivan. Save it to a new save as 100, and then again over Big. Link those two together via Transform, and then set off from the Coliseum to the dark purple warp. Use Transform if you think you're going to get hit by anything, and assumedly you can take about 5 hits due to your shield, as you didn't technically take damage. But you should be able to demolish everything in your path. Make sure you exit the warp on the right side. For Mission 3, we need to use a ship with at most 10 Gummi blocks and fly it from the Coliseum to Neverland while destroying, at minimum, 777 obstacles. Start a new ship, and here will be the setup. Save it as itty, like itty bitty, but just the first word. Now head to the purple warp and fly slow anytime you come near obstacles. Exit the warp on the right side to fly towards Neverland. There's plenty of obstacles and this shouldn't be too difficult, but it doesn't hurt to be meticulous until you have 777. Now Atlantica, oh boy, okay. First mission is to collect 10 or more armor blocks, which are the green blocks dropped by small meteors. I use ship 1 and fly from Olympus to the orange warp. Be sure to exit the orange warp on the right to fly towards Atlantica. And this is definitely overkill. You could likely fly from Agrabah instead if you wanted, but at least you'll definitely get it done if you come from the Coliseum. Mission 2 requires you keep all obstacles intact and get at least a score of 240. You'll definitely want to fly from the Coliseum to the orange warp for this mission. We're going to repurpose itty we used in the third Neverland mission and soup it up a bit. So the goal here is to destroy as many ships and collect as many of their blocks as possible. If you come to an area with obstacles, aim your ship left or right and hold R1, that way you'll shoot sideways instead of forwards. When you hit this section, it's best to hold R1 while aiming upwards or downwards depending on where the enemy ships are. If you feel you may break an obstacle, just stop shooting and save yourself the trouble of having to restart. Once you hit a score of 240, just stop shooting altogether and fly the rest of the way to Atlantica. Stay on the right of the warp exit. I didn't add a haste gummy, though you can if you want this to go faster after you reach the 240 score. For mission 3, probably the absolute worst mission in this game, you need to avoid all potential items you can pick up and get a score of 260, meaning you can only get points from destroying enemy ships and destroying obstacles, but not from the gummies they drop. We're going to come from Olympus again and use this ship. Put a bunch of Aero gummies on top and put your weapons facing backwards. Then put 2 Ultima gummies in the front. Save it as a new ship, and set off for the orange warp, which, reminder, you'll need to exit on the right of to fly towards Atlantica. So I'm going to let a slightly sped up version of this mission play while I explain it. This is all about maneuvering. Use your Thunder and Thundara gummies to destroy obstacles behind you, and use Ultima to destroy the ships in front of you. Be sure you're moving around a lot to avoid picking up any gummies, and don't attack a ship or obstacle if you think you're too close and may accidentally pick up its dropped item. This took me at least 5 tries, and it's really difficult, so don't be discouraged if it takes a few tries. After you complete it, firstly, congrats, you're amazing! Secondly, land in Atlantica and immediately save so you don't have to do it again. You'll thank me later. Now, for Hollow Bastion Mission 1, we need to fly from Neverland and destroy 130 enemy ships with only Ultima Gummi equipped. Use the weapon ship, teched out with ultimate lasers. I never needed the rig to do it, but do be careful not to run out of power or you won't be able to destroy any more ships. For Mission 2, you'll need to get a score of 1600 or higher. We're going to use the slow ship and fly from Traverse Town. Go out of your way to brake when obstacles come up and deliberately destroy as much as possible. Use Osmos Gummi anytime there's a lot of blocks around you, and be sure you don't run out of power. If you run out of power, it's best to just try again. Also, exit the purple warp on the left side. Here's the score you should have by each loading zone in order to get 1600 by the end. Now, for Mission 3, we're going to use Haste 2 Gummi, 10 times without taking damage and without a shield. Use the slow ship, remove the shield, and the gummies that reveal things. Save the ship in 2 new slots, and connect them via transformation. Fly from Traverse Town to the purple warp, use Transform anytime you think you may get hit, and exit on the left side of the warp. Bear in mind you can't use haste while transforming or vice versa. Also, be sure you keep count of how many times you haste. Use haste right out of the gate, and then honestly, this little section with the spinning rings is the hardest part. Also, your score is irrelevant, so don't worry about collecting stuff. Only shoot things so that you don't run into them. And a great time to use haste is during loading zones, because there's nothing for you to run into, or when you're in a portion where the enemies and obstacles are either above or below you. End of the world is last on the list here. Round of applause, people. We're almost done. Fuck yeah. For the first end of the world mission, you need to fly from Hollow Bastion to End of the World with only 2 Gummi blocks. So take Itty, delete it, put in the weakest cockpit, and a Aeroga Gummi. It's best to just stay in motion unless you're in a portion where you won't run into anything. This is fairly easy and the idea is not to take damage. Best of luck. Mission 2 wants you to use 5 Gummi blocks and get a score of 350 or higher. Take Itty and replace Aeroga with Fire Gummi, and attach 2 Thunder Gummies and an Osmos Gummi. Hold the brake in this portion to destroy as many obstacles as possible. This one isn't all that difficult, but it can be failed pretty easily if we aren't meticulous about it. Alright, mission 3, the piece de resistance, the creme de la creme, the hardest and final mission. We need to obtain a score of 600 or higher. Use the slow ship and hold the brakes the entire time. Here's the score you'll need at each arbitrary section that I've decided to divide it up in order to succeed. Congrats, folks, you did it. Press triangle to get the crown G and be sure you save. So Gummi Missions and Blueprints are obviously optional, but if you want to get the game 100% done or want all the trophies, you do unfortunately have to do it. Ship 1 is great for getting all the blueprints, and here's a list of routes you can find them on. Lastly, we're at Ansem. So I'm not going to be facing Ansem at level 100 because honestly, if you're that high, you won't need a tutorial, he'll be a cakewalk. But also because I want to help the people who are lower level and just wanted to speed through. I was level 59 by the time I made it to the final save, so that's the level I'll be doing it at. Equip all elixirs to Sora and use the highest strength keyblade you have, which will either be Divine Rose or Ultima. Equip 2 of the highest strength accessories and 1 of the highest magic accessories. Use weapons and accessories that maximize down on the Goofy's magic too. Don't bother with EXP accessories as you can't save post Ansem, so any levels you gain won't matter. In that same vein, turn on the 0 XP ability so that you can benefit from the bonus damage storage. I'll explain what that is in a bit. The only important abilities to have outside of that is Scan, Leaf Bracer Guard, and Second Chance for Sora, as well as all the cheers equipped, and MP Gift for Goofy. Customization-wise, put Graviga, Aeroga, and Curaga in your shortcut, and set up Donald and Goofy like this. Save before entering the door, and make sure you have the Mushu summon. When you're ready, let's enter that door. So, all of the bosses here are really easy as long as you keep Aeroga up and wail on them. I'm basically going to gloss over them and only explain a few fights that don't require just Aeroga and spamming X. For the first Ansem fight, if you happen to be a lower level, somewhere in the 40s, low 50s, you can summon Mushu to do extra damage after doing a combo. You do a full 3-hit combo, and the damage stores essentially doubles the damage of your next magic attack, so summoning Mushu after a combo will cause him to do double damage. If you're around level 59 like I am, or higher, it really won't help you on the first Ansem fight. On the Dark Ball fight where Goofy rejoins the party, it doesn't hurt to gravity spam the Dark Balls. You can also use Stopka if it's getting too hectic. Same for the Invisible Room where Donald rejoins the party. For the core, fly up and cast Gravity on it and then hit it to death. Now I know I've glossed over a couple of those other ones, but I promise, casting Aeroga and spamming X will completely demolish Darkside, Ansem 2, and the weird Ace thing. Now for the final Ansem fight, do a 3-hit combo on him so that your next attack will have double damage thanks to 0 XP. Fly down to the ground and summon Mushu. Mushu, even if you're level 59 like me, does a crap ton of damage to Ansem here because of that double damage. Once Mushu disappears, cast Aeroga and wail on Ansem like normal. That's the game. Great job, everybody! So, there are a few more things left to mention. This isn't necessarily a trophy run, but if you're determined to platinum the game, here's what the remaining trophies are and just a few I didn't show in the video. That's the end, folks. We did it. Thank you for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this. It was a lot of work, and I'm extremely happy with the video, and I hope, above all else, this was helpful for anyone who may have got Kingdom Hearts on PC, or just wanted to replay the first game on hard mode, like when they haven't before. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, and if you want more in-depth videos on the game, I can do that too, as well as future Kingdom Hearts games. Drink plenty of water and tell yourself you're beautiful at least 3 times today. Goodbye!